Mike stared in stunned silence as the footage on the news shifted from the initial reports of strange attacks to a full-blown humanitarian crisis. Panicked civilians fled in all directions, their terror palpable even through the screen. And then, the camera captured the true horror. The infected, their movements jerky and unnatural, swarming the helpless crowds, mouths agape and eyes glazed over. Mike felt a chill run down his spine as he watched the victims get overwhelmed, their screams echoing in his mind. Asterisk tearing his gaze away from the television. Mike glanced out the window at the sleepy suburban street, his brow furrowed with a growing sense of unease. The quiet routine of his morning commute felt worlds away from the chaos unfolding on the news. He quickly shut off the TV, unwilling to entertain the possibility that the disaster could reach his own quiet corner of the world. As Mike hurried to get ready for work, he couldn't shake the gnawing feeling that something was very, very wrong. The usual din of morning traffic outside his home was strangely muted, and an eerie silence had settled over the neighborhood. Peering out the window, Mike's heart sank as he noticed a few of his neighbors gathered on the street, their expressions a mixture of fear and confusion. Grabbing his briefcase, Mike stepped outside, instantly regretting his decision, as the stench of smoke and decay assaulted his senses. Down the block, a car had crashed into a lamppost, its driver slumped motionless behind the wheel. Mike's stomach churned as he caught a glimpse of the man's pale, lifeless face. What's going on? Mike called out to his neighbors, his voice quivering. Didn't you hear? One of them, a middle-aged woman named Karen, replied shakily. There's been some kind of outbreak, some kind of virus that's making people act strange. We need to get inside. Now? As if on cue, a chilling howl pierced the air, causing the gathered residents to jump in alarm. Mike's gaze snapped toward the sound, and his blood ran cold at the sight of a figure shambling down the street, its movements jerky and unnatural, its skin a sickly, grayish hue. Get back, Karen screamed, her voice cracking with terror. It's one of them. The creature turned its hollow gaze toward the group, its lips peeling back to reveal rows of jagged, yellowed teeth. Mike felt an overwhelming sense of dread as it began to lurch forward, its movements awkward yet relentless. Without hesitation, Karen and the others scrambled back into their homes, slamming and locking their doors behind them. Mike, paralyzed by fear, could only watch as the creature drew closer, its rasping breaths echoing in the eerie silence. Just as the thing was about to reach him, Mike's survival instincts kicked in, and he hurried back inside, slamming the door and engaging the deadbolt with trembling hands. His heart pounded in his ears as he peered out the window, his eyes widening in horror as he witnessed the creature begin to attack his neighbor's front door, clawing and snarling with a primal, inhuman ferocity. Mike stumbled backward, his mind racing. This couldn't be happening. It had to be some kind of sick joke, a horrible nightmare. But the sounds of his neighbor's panicked screams, mixed with the guttural growls of the creature, shattered any illusion of normalcy. Sinking to the floor, Mike hugged his knees to his chest, his breaths coming in short, ragged gasps. The world as he knew it was unraveling before his eyes, and he had no idea what to do. One thing was certain, though. The quiet, orderly life he'd always known was about to be upended in the most horrific way imaginable. Paralyzed by fear, Mike huddled in the entryway of his home, his mind racing as the sounds of his neighbor's desperate cries echoed outside. He knew he needed to act, to find a way to escape the nightmare unfolding on his doorstep. But the sheer terror of the situation had left him frozen in place. Suddenly, a loud crash from the kitchen jolted him back to his senses. Scrambling to his feet, Mike cautiously approached the source of the noise, his heart pounding in his chest. Peering around the corner, he let out a shaky breath as he saw his dog, Buddy, cowering under the kitchen table, having apparently knocked over a vase in his panic. Asterisk, buddy, Mike whispered, relief washing over him as he crouched down and reached out a trembling hand. The loyal golden retriever whimpered and scurried toward him, burying his face in Mike's shirt. For a moment, the simple comfort of his beloved pet's presence calmed Mike's nerves, momentarily distracting him from the horrors outside. But the respite was fleeting. A sudden thud against the front door jolted Mike back to the reality of his situation. Clutching Buddy close, he peered out the window, his blood turning to ice at the sight of the creature, or rather, creatures, gathered on his front lawn, their dead eyes and gnashing teeth a visceral reminder of the danger that loomed just beyond his doorstep. Frantically, Mike began to survey his home, searching for any potential weapons or escape routes. His gaze settled on the baseball bat he kept by the back door, a glimmer of hope igniting within him. Snatching it up, he gripped the smooth wood handle, feeling a surge of adrenaline course through his veins. Okay, buddy, he whispered, steeling his resolve. We're going to get out of here, no matter what. Stay close to me, boy. Taking a deep breath, Mike cautiously unlocked the back door and peered outside, his eyes sweeping the yard for any sign of the infected. Seeing none, he ushered Buddy through the doorway, closing and locking it behind them. They were out in the open now, but Mike knew staying in the house was no longer an option. As they moved quickly down the alley, Mike's mind raced, desperately trying to formulate a plan. He needed to find his wife and children, to make sure they were safe. But with the streets overrun by the infected, the task seemed nearly impossible. Still, he refused to give in to despair, his determination fueled by the need to protect his family at all costs. Reaching the end of the alley, Mike paused, his gaze scanning the horizon. In the distance, he could see smoke rising from several locations, and the eerie silence was punctuated by the occasional scream or the sickening sound of the infected. Taking a deep breath, he gripped the baseball bat tighter and pressed on, his loyal companion at his side, both of them bracing for the unknown horrors that awaited them in this new, nightmarish world. As Mike and Buddy made their way through the deserted streets, the full scope of the disaster began to unfold before their eyes. Cars were abandoned haphazardly, their doors left open as if their owners had fled in a frantic panic. Broken glass and debris littered the sidewalks, and the air was thick with the acrid stench of smoke and decay. Rounding a corner, Mike's heart sank at the sight of a group of the infected, their movements jerky and unnatural as they stumbled aimlessly through the intersection. Pulling Buddy close, he ducked behind a parked car, his grip on the baseball bat tightening until his knuckles turned white. Okay, boy, he whispered, his voice barely audible. We need to find a safe place to hole up. I can't risk taking you out there with those things. Buddy whined softly, sensing his owner's distress. As Mike scanned the area for a potential refuge, his gaze settled on the familiar steeple of St. Mary's Church in the distance. Though he hadn't set foot in the building for years, the promise of sanctuary within its walls was a beacon of hope in the midst of this nightmare. Mustering his courage, Mike darted from behind the car, Buddy at his heels, and made a beeline for the church. As they neared the entrance, the sound of voices from within gave Mike a renewed sense of purpose. Pushing open the heavy oak doors, he stepped inside, barely registering the ornate stained glass windows and polished pews as his eyes frantically searched the gathered crowd. Please, has anyone seen my wife and children? He called out, his voice cracking with desperation. Their names are Sarah, Timmy, and Lily. They couldn't have gotten far. A burly man in military fatigues approached him, his expression grim. I'm sorry, son, but I haven't seen anyone matching their description. Most of us here are just trying to hunker down and wait this out. Mike's heart sank, his breath catching in his throat. Wait it out. He echoed, his disbelief palpable. "Do you have any idea what's happening out there?" Asterisk. Asterisk. The man's weathered face hardened. "I was in the National Guard," he said, his tone grave. "I've seen the footage, the reports. This is unlike anything I've ever witnessed. Those things out there, they're not human anymore. And they're spreading fast." Asterisk. Asterisk. Mike felt the weight of the man's words settle like a lead ball in the pit of his stomach. The realization that his family could be in mortal danger, lost and alone in this nightmarish new world, shook him to his core. But even as despair threatened to consume him, a glimmer of determination flickered to life within his chest. Asterisk. Asterisk. "Then we have to do something," he said, his grip tightening on the baseball bat. "I can't just sit here and wait. I have to find them." Asterisk. Asterisk. The ex-soldier studied him for a moment, then nodded solemnly. "I was hoping you'd say that. We're going to need all the able-bodied folks we can get if we're going to have any chance of surviving this." Asterisk. Asterisk. As Mike listened to the man's plan, a newfound resolve hardened within him. He would do whatever it took to find his family and keep them safe, even if it meant venturing out into the heart of the apocalypse itself. Asterisk. The makeshift plan hatched by the ex-soldier, whose name Mike later learned was Gus, was a risky one at best. The group would need to venture out into the zombie-infested streets and raid the nearby supermarket for vital supplies and resources. But with the infected swarming the city and reports of the outbreak spreading rapidly, the window of opportunity was quickly closing. Asterisk. Asterisk. As Gus laid out the details, Mike could feel the tension and uncertainty in the air. Many of the other survivors, a ragtag group of residents who had managed to take refuge in the church, were clearly terrified at the prospect of venturing out into the chaos. Mike himself felt a familiar knot of fear coiling in the pit of his stomach, but the thought of his missing family drove him forward, overriding his own sense of self-preservation. Asterisk. Asterisk. "I'll go," Mike said, his voice surprisingly steady. "I have to find my wife and kids. They're out there, alone, and I can't just sit here while they're in danger." Asterisk. Asterisk. Gus studied him for a moment, his weathered features softening with a glimmer of respect. "I figured as much," he replied, placing a hand on Mike's shoulder. "We're going to need all the help we can get. But I need to know, can I count on you to keep your head in there? This ain't gonna be no walk in the park." Asterisk. Asterisk. Mike nodded, his grip tightening on the baseball bat. "I'll do whatever it takes." Asterisk. Asterisk. The group set out shortly after, their footsteps echoing in the eerie silence that had settled over the once bustling city streets. Mike kept Buddy close, the loyal dog's presence providing a small measure of comfort as they navigated the debris-strewn sidewalks. Asterisk. Asterisk. As they drew closer to the supermarket, the first signs of the infected began to appear. A lone figure stumbling aimlessly in the distance, its movements jerky and unnatural. Gus raised a hand, signaling the group to halt, his eyes scanning the horizon for any other signs of the undead. Asterisk. Asterisk. "Remember," he whispered, his gaze sweeping over the faces of the survivors. "These things are fast, and they're relentless. Aim for the head, and don't hesitate. If one of them gets too close, you don't stop, you just keep moving. Understood?" Asterisk. Asterisk. The group murmured their acknowledgement, their expressions a mix of fear and determination. Mike tightened his grip on the baseball bat, his heart pounding in his ears as they resumed their cautious advance toward the supermarket. Asterisk. Asterisk. Just as they reached the entrance, a sudden commotion off to their left drew their attention. Mike's blood ran cold as he caught sight of the infected, their numbers swelling as they shambled toward the group, their guttural snarls filling the air. Asterisk. Asterisk. "Get inside, now," Gus barked, ushering the survivors through the supermarket's automatic doors. Mike hesitated for a moment, Buddy whimpering at his side, then steeled his resolve and followed the others, praying that the relative safety of the supermarket would provide them with the supplies they needed to survive this nightmare asterisk. Once inside the dimly lit supermarket, the survivors huddled together, their eyes darting nervously as the sounds of the infected echoed just outside the doors. Mike clutched Buddy close, his knuckles white from gripping the baseball bat so tightly. Gus quickly organized the group, assigning tasks and setting up a defensive perimeter near the rear exit. Mike volunteered to join the scouting team, determined to gather as many supplies as possible in their limited time. As they began their search, Mike couldn't help but feel a sense of guilt and worry for his missing family, their faces haunting his every step. The supermarket aisles were eerily quiet, save for the occasional thud of the infected throwing themselves against the barricaded entrance. Mike and his team moved with a palpable sense of urgency, their arms laden with canned goods, medical supplies, and other essential items. But just as they were about to head back, a faint sound from the far end of the store caught Mike's attention. Wait, he whispered, holding up a hand. Did you hear that? The others paused, straining to listen. After a moment, a muffled cry reached their ears, followed by the unmistakable snarls of the infected Someone's in trouble, Mike said, his heart racing. Without hesitation, he broke into a sprint, his teammates shouting after him as he rounded the corner and rushed toward the source of the commotion. What he encountered next would haunt him for the rest of his life. A young woman, her clothes torn and her face streaked with tears, was trapped behind a row of shelves, desperately fending off a small horde of the infected with a makeshift weapon. Mike's eyes widened in horror as he watched the creatures lunge at her, their jaws snapping mere inches from her face. Without a moment's hesitation, Mike leaped into the fray, swinging the baseball bat with all his might. The first infected crumpled to the ground, its skull caving in with a sickening crunch. The others turned their attention to him, their dead eyes fixated on their new target. Run. Mike shouted, his voice hoarse with exertion. Get out of here. Now. The woman didn't need to be told twice. She scrambled to her feet and fled, disappearing down the aisle as Mike held his ground, his muscles straining with each swing of the bat. The infected pressed in, their numbers overwhelming him, and he felt a surge of panic as he realized he might not make it out of this alive. Just as he was about to be overwhelmed, a familiar figure emerged from the shadows. Gus, his assault rifle blazing. The infected dropped one by one, their lifeless bodies crumpling to the floor. Mike felt a wave of relief wash over him as the ex-soldier reached his side, his expression grim but determined. We need to get the hell out of here, Gus barked, grabbing Mike by the arm. The others are waiting at the rear exit. Move, now. Mike didn't need to be told twice. Clutching Buddy close, he followed Gus through the chaos, his heart pounding in his chest. As they burst through the rear doors and into the open air, Mike couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope. They had survived the first of many battles to come in this new, nightmarish world. The group raced through the deserted streets, Gus leading the way as they navigated the maze of abandoned vehicles and debris. Mike kept a firm grip on Buddy, his eyes darting from side to side, half expecting to see the infected lurching out from every shadow. As they neared the church, the sounds of the infected grew closer, their guttural snarls, and the pounding of their footsteps sending a chill down Mike's spine. Gus barked out orders, directing the others to take up defensive positions around the entrance. We've got to hold them off, he shouted, his assault rifle at the ready. Get inside and bolster the barricades. Mike hesitated for a moment, torn between the need to seek shelter and the overwhelming desire to continue his search for his family. But as the infected began to pour into the street, their numbers swelling with each passing moment, He knew he had no choice but to follow the others into the relative safety of the church. Once inside, the survivors scrambled to reinforce the makeshift barricades, dragging heavy pews and furniture to block the entrance. Mike joined them, his mind racing as the sounds of the infected grew louder and more relentless. As the onslaught continued, tensions within the group began to rise. Some argued for a more aggressive approach, while others advocated for remaining holed up and waiting for rescue. Mike could feel the fear and desperation in the air, and he knew that it was only a matter of time before the situation spiraled out of control. Then, a cry from the back of the church drew their attention. One of the survivors, a middle-aged man named Frank, had been bitten. His face was ashen, his eyes wild with panic, as he clutched the bloody wound on his arm. No, this can't be happening, he wailed, his voice cracking with terror. You have to help me. Gus rushed to his side, his expression grim. I'm sorry, son, he said, his voice low. There's nothing we can do. You know what happens to those who get bitten. The other survivors looked on in stunned silence, their faces a mix of fear and resignation. Mike felt his heart sink as he watched the realization dawn on Frank's face, the man's desperate pleas for help slowly dying on his lips. Please, Frank whispered, his eyes brimming with tears. I don't want to turn into one of them. Gus reached for his sidearm, his hand trembling slightly. I'm sorry, he repeated, his voice barely above a whisper. The gunshot that followed seemed to echo endlessly within the confines of the church, its finality shattering the already fragile morale of the group. Mike felt a wave of nausea wash over him, his grip on Buddy tightening as he watched the others struggle to come to terms with the grim reality of their situation. As the infected continued to batter at the barricades, Mike knew that their respite was only temporary. They had to find a way out of this living nightmare, and soon. But with his family still missing and the threat of the infected looming ever closer, he couldn't help but feel a growing sense of hopelessness creeping into his heart. The hours ticked by in agonizing silence, the relentless pounding of the infected against the barricaded doors, a constant, maddening reminder of the danger that lurked just beyond the church's walls. Mike huddled in the corner, Buddy curled up at his feet, the two of them taking what little comfort they could from each other's presence. Gus and the other survivors worked tirelessly to reinforce the defenses, their faces etched with a grim determination that belied the fear and exhaustion clearly weighing on them all. Mike had long since lost track of how many times they'd had to drive back the horde, each encounter leaving them more shaken and depleted than the last. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the church's interior, Mike felt a flicker of hope when Gus approached him, a glimmer of purpose in his weathered eyes. We've got a plan, the ex-soldier said, his voice low. It's risky as hell, but it's our best shot at getting out of this alive. Mike leaned in, his heart pounding. I'm listening. Gus quickly outlined the details, a daring raid on the nearby police station, where they hoped to find weapons, ammunition, and potentially a way to contact any remaining emergency services. It was a desperate gamble, but with the infected steadily wearing down their defenses, they had little choice but to take the chance. I know it's a lot to ask, Gus said, his gaze meeting Mike's. But I need you with us on this, son. Your family could still be out there, and this might be our only shot at finding them. Mike didn't even have to think twice. I'm in, he replied, his voice firm. Whatever it takes. As the group prepared to venture out, Mike felt a new sense of purpose settle over him. The thought of his wife and children, lost and alone in this nightmare, fueled his determination, overriding the fear that had threatened to consume him. When the time came, Mike gripped the baseball bat tightly, his knuckles turning white, and followed Gus and the others as they burst through the church doors and into the twilight. The infected swarmed them immediately, their putrid stench and guttural snarls assaulting Mike's senses, but he refused to falter, his focus laser-sharp as he fought his way through the horde. The journey to the police station was a harrowing blur, a frantic dash through a sea of the undead, but miraculously, they'd reached their destination intact. As they forced their way inside, Mike felt a glimmer of hope ignite within him. Perhaps, against all odds, they might just survive this nightmare after all. But even as he caught his breath, his mind raced with the possibility that his family could be out there, alone, and in desperate need of rescue. With a renewed sense of determination, Mike steeled himself for the next phase of their perilous journey, knowing that the stakes had never been higher. The police station was a fortified bastion of relative safety amidst the chaos that had engulfed the city, but it offered little comfort to Mike as he and the other survivors hastily fortified the entrances and scoured the building for much-needed supplies. With Gus leading the charge, the group quickly secured the ground floor, securing the main entrance and setting up a command center in the lobby. Mike, his grip tight on the baseball bat, kept a watchful eye on the windows and doors, his heart pounding with every creak and groan that echoed through the hallways. As they began to stockpile weapons, ammunition, and other essential gear, Mike couldn't help but feel a growing sense of urgency. Every minute spent holed up was another minute his family could be out there, alone, and in grave danger. He knew he needed to convince Gus to let him venture out, to search for any sign of his missing wife and children. Gus, Mike said, his voice tense, "We can't just stay here. My family is still out there, and I have to find them." The ex-soldier's weathered face hardened, his expression torn. "I know, son," he replied, placing a heavy hand on Mike's shoulder. "But the streets are swarming with those things. If we go out there, we may not make it back." Mike felt his resolve harden. "I don't care," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I can't just sit here and wait. Not when they could be in trouble." Gus sighed heavily, his gaze sweeping the room as the other survivors watched the exchange with a mixture of fear and understanding. "All right," he conceded, "but you're not going alone. I'll put together a team. We'll make one pass through the city, see if we can find any sign of them. But I can't guarantee we'll make it back." Mike nodded, his heart pounding with a mixture of dread and hope. As the team assembled, and they stepped out into the eerily quiet streets, the infected swarming in the distance, he knew that he was risking everything for the slim chance of finding his family. But the alternative, the thought of them lost and alone, facing the horrors of this new nightmarish world without him, was simply unacceptable. The journey through the city was a harrowing ordeal, the group fighting their way through wave after wave of the undead, their ammunition dwindling with each encounter. Just when Mike was about to lose hope, a faint signal on the radio led them to a remote, heavily fortified farm on the outskirts of the city. As they approached the compound, Mike's heart raced with a mixture of trepidation and elation. Could this be the haven they had been searching for? And more importantly, could his family be here, safe and sound? The gates opened, and Mike felt a surge of relief as he caught sight of his wife and children, their faces etched with a mix of joy and disbelief. Reunited at last, the family embraced, the weight of their ordeal finally beginning to lift as they found solace in each other's arms. Though the scars of their trauma would linger, Mike knew that they had weathered the worst of the apocalypse. As they settled into their new home, the endless fields of the farm a stark contrast to the nightmare they had left behind. He vowed to do whatever it took to protect his family in this brave new world, a world where the dead had risen, and the fight for survival had only just begun.